Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another interesting episode on Trash It. Now, as you can see, we have more males than usual because it's a man panel today. Before I introduce those on the panel, I'm just going to read something quickly and then dive into what we're going to be trashing today. Now, there's a tweet, so to say, which I'm going to read verbatim, which says, well, I guess everyone is speaking from the side of life where they found themselves. I have realized that to the poor who are in church praying to God for financial breakthrough, being rich is not as important as making heaven. But deep down in their hearts, the major thing they recognize as God's blessing is still riches. But yet, as they integrate the rich and act like it's not all important, Drake said in his track, Up All Night, that niggas with no money act like money ain't everything. And I think it also counts for women without husbands. The only problem with people who talk like Toke Makinwa is, I would have loved if they were married and they say marriage is not important or is not a ticket to heaven. You not being married is not by choice. It is circumstantial. Stop deceiving the upcoming wife materials into thinking that you don't want to be married from the get-go. I know you're a child of God. Good. What you're looking for is with the man for whom you've had your baby. You see, for speaking this way, you're a total mess and a menace to the society at large. Do you realize that what you and your ex are commenting in the public are affecting and deteriorating the minds of potential wives? Do you know that you are packaging rubbish as beautiful by making being a single mother look attractive to young girls? I'm sorry, but if you're making a single mother look attractive to I'm sorry, but if that's not being married does not appeal to you as a woman at your age, I'm not sorry to tell you that I'm going to read that again. I'm not sorry to tell you that having you exist as a product of marriage of your parental date is a disservice to the society and a great mistake by your parents. Ask Candy Owens and she will tell you why she's using antidepressants in her 50s. So please stop all this rubbish. Now, the short and long of the gist of what we're going to be trashing today is being single or being a single mom by choice or circumstantial. And I am an independent lady. So does that mean I don't need a man? How true of a fact it is. So I will go to our resident trashers. We've all met Funshaw, Damola, Jude, and Ade. Welcome back, guys. Now, let's start with Ade. Looking at what I just read now, being a single mom, is it by choice or is it circumstantial? And women that says, I'm single, I don't need a man. How true of a statement is that?
Well, it's true, but you see, this is how it goes. There's a choice you have to make, but the circumstances that lead to the choice that you have to make. That's my own opinion of it, right? Some people might have a bad experience with guy or their background or they're growing up, their mother and their father, or some people will say to you they don't want to have no kids. They have a reason why they don't want to have kids, right? And the reason why they don't want to have kids is what makes them decide on the choice they're making. There is no choice without a reason. There must be a reason why you make that choice. Whether it's by fear or by situation that you've gone through that you don't want to go through again, or you don't want to see yourself in a situation that someone has been through. You see, there was the people that would say, I don't want to get married and I don't want to have children just because their auntie, their mom, the marriage didn't work out or they experience what they've seen. They experience two people that are married. So it's made them to decide on that choice. This is the choice I'm following. This is the choice I'm making. This is my own route that I'm going to follow. That's the way I see it. Okay. Nobody's happy not to have kids. Nobody's happy not to be married. But there's issues that might make people afraid or wants to get involved in marriage or having kids. And that's how it is. Just like for me now, I want to get married again, but I have reservation. I have things I look at when I meet a lady. Right. And one of the things is if she's very argumentative, start argument, I'm handling it. 3 months, I don't care. I'm off, I'm gone. And I've done it. Like all last year, this year, I've done it. You start argument for no reason, I'm gone. I've had one that had issue with me where a female friend called me on a video because she was in my flat with me. And I was talking, and after the call, she didn't say nothing. 2 days later, she started going, how can a lady call you? I'm thinking, you don't even know who called me. She's a friend from secondary school, right? And she believed that if a lady is calling you on a video, that means there's some interest. Now, and I think where she's coming from, because I look at her background, right? She's not go to school in UK. She went to school in Nigeria. And the culture she's been in is a female cannot have a guy friend. So if a guy and a female is friend, there must be something going on. But it's not like that. And I said to her, and I thought, no, this one is going to be a while for me. I am not interested. Believe me, I cut it off. Right? Another one before didn't even go more than 4 months, right? And my experience is when you go out, right, I'm always the one paying. You understand? But she's gonna come up with, babe, let me take you out. You understand? And she wants to dictate, oh, we need to go out. But she's not willing to invest in it. And I'm thinking, oh, you want to come and chop my own? No, it doesn't work like that. You know, I've been there, I've done that. I've got kids, so I'm not in a rush to look for a woman to say kids or anything. You know what I mean? So my own choice to make, based on my experience, that if I have any sign of what I've been through before, is a no for me. I'm off. Do you understand? So it's help me.
Let me get this. You're coming from a place of experience. One could argue, could there be then the problem is you? Because now we've spoken about 3 or 4 instances where you've not been, with a lack of better word, have not been patient enough. So what's your view on that? Because really and truly, if it's circumstantial, shouldn't your thinking change around how you now enter a new phase of relationship?
No, you see, I'm going in with a clear mind to say, yeah, there will be a doubt, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But when you are now giving me sign of what will give me stress and headache, it's for me to now decide, is this for me? Do you understand? In any relationship you're in, if you meet someone who is always violent and calling you, it doesn't have to slap you, but it could actually be, what do you call it? Emotional drain to you, like insulting you by not violent, but by word of mouth. Do you want to stay or do you want to go? And that will be based on your experience. If you want to stay, then that's your choice. You know, we see a lot of women stay in a relationship where the guy is violent to them and they sat there continually, until it gets worse to a situation where there is no turning back and we thought, oh, it's too late now.
Adi, can I just interrupt you for 1 second? So would it be okay for a guy to call your girlfriend on a video call? Would you be okay with that?
I don't have a problem.
You don't have, okay.
Do you know that the girl that said that, she actually said to the friend that introduced us together that I don't show my emotion, because when they call her, right, a guy call her, I don't get angry to say, who is that? Why is it calling?
Okay.
And I think to myself, listen, if you're gonna do anything, you're gonna do it anyway. You know, I'm not gonna be watching your phone, watching your time. You know, it's about trust. But when you do it to my face, and it's not like I'm waiting for someone to tell me. I've seen it with my own visualization. I've seen it with my eyes. Then I know, say, boy, this is not for me.
All right.
Do you understand? It's about trust. It's about compromise.
Okay, so let's move on swiftly, and I'll go to the other men, and then Celia would have a question. Funshaw, going by what I've just read and what this guy who's tweeted this is, being an independent lady and the fact that they keep saying, I don't need a man. And at the same time, being a single mom, is it by choice? Is it circumstantial? How true are these statements? Because obviously we see out there people celebrate, and I've got nothing wrong or nothing against single parenthood, but it seems to be the norm of where people are now celebrating on social media. Women don't actually want men or feel that they don't need men. And there are people that are hinging on such promises, so to say. So I'm going to go to you. What's your view on that?
So I like how Adi opened the floor. It kind of nailed it on the head. So I'm just going to buttress his points a bit. So for me, sometimes it's by choice, but sometimes it's circumstantial. When I say it's by choice, I've met ladies that didn't want to have children. And because of that, they didn't want to get married. So they want to be single, they want to be free in control of their life. I thought it was a Western thing because I met someone for the first time that had that kind of choice when I got here. And I thought it was a Western thing until I met another lady that's African. And she said the same thing, that there are so many children in the world suffering. She prefers to go adopt instead of having to go through the whole process and bring another life into this world because of the way the world is right now. So I was thinking maybe it's just words of the mouth. Probably she doesn't want to go through the process. She doesn't want to change in her body and all those things. But continuously, she has shown that, yeah, it is her choice and this is how she wants to go. And she's even open to adoption. If not for the rules of the country, she would have adopted kids right now. So she's in control of her own life. So, like I said, it can be by choice. And yeah, I respect it. Actually, out of the two ladies I just mentioned now, one of it was supposed to, it was when I was still in active service. Now I'm retired. So,
You want your boots.
so it was when I was in active service, and it was part of the reason why I actually left her because of saying she doesn't want to have kids, no marriage. I was like, no, that's not for me. I want those things. So that's why we went our separate ways. Now, the other part of it is it can be circumstantial. This Toke Makinwa case, she was married before. You know, if it was sweet, if they didn't have issues, she wouldn't be out there writing these things that she's writing, just like the person that tweeted mentioned in the tweet. So she should not just go around. If she didn't want it, she wouldn't have gotten into it in the first place at all. Now that she has a kid, she was married before. She's not looking for anything else. She can now discover, no, it's bullshit. I used to have a girlfriend then. Uh, she listens a lot to Toke Makinwa, and she will want to whatever she says, she wants to implement it. I said, no, 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 no. Eventually, when Toke Makinwa split, I called her. Like, this is your mentor. You can see. She will just destroy your relationship. You get. So these things happen. Let me just leave it like that. So to round it up, sometimes it's by choice. Those are really, really sincere about it. It's by choice, and I respect them for that. I know there are guys also that don't want to get married. I think I said it before that if I had kids when I was young, I wouldn't get married. No, I won't get
And
married.
may I ask why?
Yeah, because I want to be free. I want to be in control of my life. Right
Okay.
now, I have to wake up and think of another all the people that are already in my life. I love them. I love them. Don't make me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is if I had gotten a child when I was 20, 21, or 25, I wouldn't get married.
Okay. So now being saying that, why do you have a problem with a woman that has the same mindset as you had if she's
I
got a child?
I don't have a problem with it. I
Okay.
didn't say I have a problem with it. I'm just saying that sometimes it's by choice. Those that choose to do that from the beginning, fine, no problem. But those that have gone through marriage, had children, and now saying that you don't need a man, I think they are bitter.
Beta. Okay. Beta, beta. Good.
Bitter.
Damala, please, I need you to come in and I want you to think about this because obviously you used to live in Nigeria and the mindset of, and this is not being stereotypical, the mindset of boss single ladies in Nigeria is, I just want my child. I don't need a man. And you guys, I don't need to deal with your bull when I've got my kids. So looking at your background, and I'm saying background in the sense that you're the resident person we can use for Nigeria status. What is the drive? What is the problem? How true of a statement is this?
All right, thank you so much. So first of all, I like to say that I don't think I know enough Nigerian ladies to be able to form an opinion that this is their state of mind. However, I think I know a few of them, and I've interacted with a couple of them. Single mothers, I have friends that are like single mothers, and yes, I have the married ones too. So yeah, my thoughts. I've had to unlearn a couple of things over the years, and it's because we keep evolving, as a set of people. But if I go by what I grew up with, the culture I was born into, these are the kind of things that the society will frown at, right? But then we're at a point in time where people have started to evolve narratives about how things should be generally in the society. And if you come across as, for lack of a better word, like an opposition to the current mindset of an average Niger girl now, for example, of course, the backlash is amazing online. I mean, listen to conversations online and then it will come after you, tear you apart and say all sorts and everything. What do I think personally? I agree with the way Ade started and also from Shaw, and in the sense that personally, I believe that everything is by choice. Okay. I think the only scenario where I think it's not by choice is, let's say you're married, then your husband is late, and then nobody comes knocking again, and then that's about it. But at the end of the day, I think we're made up of our choices. So, and my assumption is being a single parent is you have a kid, right? A child, right? So if you want to have a child or you have a child outside of marriage, it's by choice. I mean, let's say you get for you to even have a child, you have to get through the process. If you get pregnant, you can make a choice whether to keep the child or not. I mean, that's a separate conversation, So I believe entirely that we are made up of our choices or the choices we make. However, that said, my issue with the person you mentioned is the fact that I hate, and that's the word, I mean, for lack of a better word, I hate when people generalize or they're dogmatic about their opinions and try to spread their experiences, their fears and insecurities, and put them on people. That is actually what pisses me off the most about people. So the fact that you are an influencer, for lack of a better word again, or you're someone everybody listens to, or you have a huge following, and you've experienced life a different way, you now come across as, this is a failed, this thing can never work. I thoroughly hate it. So why not let people go through what they need to go through? Let people experience life the way they need to and then form their own opinion. But I mean, you have the platform, you say the things you say, and guess what? A lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon. You'll be amazed. People don't have a mind of themselves anymore. You go online, they read stuff, and then they're leaving it. That is the society we're in right now. From that perspective, what I really detest about this whole thing is the fact that people that actually have the platform are using it in a way that influences people's mindset, or they jump, this particular gender's mindset, and then they're going a particular way. People don't even know how to think for themselves anymore. So personally, if you want to be a single parent, it's your choice. I think the problem is with the label. Where I'm from, we frown at it. Oh, you're a single mom. Everybody looks at you like, oh, you're responsible. But that has really changed over time. I know some single moms that are living their best lives. They're doing well. They're very responsible, taking care of their kids. They don't want a man. Same thing with what Funshaw said. Like, if you had a child when you were a lot younger, you probably wouldn't get married right now. It's your choice. You've come to a point in time where you're able to understand yourself better and then know that, oh, you know what, I don't want to go through this if I had that when I was a lot younger. But that's your choice. But I don't see you forcing your opinion on people online and then, making it the new norm. That is what I detest about it. Maybe I should just literally hold on for now and then listen to other conversations and then we can take it from there.
Okay. Kamala, would it be right to say, because most of the people, without a lack of better word, that's kind of pushing this agenda tends to be women. They're saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. And men feel that, okay, women are doing what they're supposed to be doing and doing more than some men. Is there an era or is there a side of you men, and I say you men because obviously I'm just using you as an example, that kind of jealous that women are moving past without having to need you? They can buy their own cars, they can live their life, they can even have children, they don't need you. There's sperm banks out there. So are you men kind of afraid that you're losing your edge?
Well, if I don't know if I have right to speak on behalf of all the men, but let me speak for myself. Hell no, not at all, not a chance in hell that we're jealous that a woman is being successful or doing things, individually or personally and taking charge of their life. Why should I be jealous? If you can take care of your business, you can take care of your business. If I can take care of mine, I can take care of mine. That's fine. We're all good by ourselves. No reason at all to be jealous. Nothing like that. I kind of agree with Funshaw, in a lot of ways. I mean, if a couple of things happened to me in the past before, so maybe I'll make a different decision right now, does not mean that I won't still need a woman in my life. However, again, I think what he's also saying that we are not talking about is the fact that for men, we get to a point where sometimes the drama just really gets to you that you're thinking, what the hell? Like, what is it? Gogon Kilo Day? Like, why do I have to take decisions? I'm fine by myself. You're a young guy. You can wake up the time you want to wake up. You can make your decisions. If you had a kid, you can decide for your kid, and it's just one person or two. That's just about it. You are very, very confined space you're dealing with. We're not jealous at all, honestly.
Okay.
I'm happy for the other gender. I'm happy for them. But I hate the narrative that they come across as any small thing now, and they just twist it out, all men are scum and stuff like that. I keep asking them, how many men do you know in your life? How many men are there on this planet? How many have you met? How many have you dated? Next thing, all men are scum. You have a father, you have a brother. You just open your mouth one and then just say these funny things like that without thinking.
Okay. The men are lit. Jude,
is shaking the table.
Jude, if there's anything that you're respected for among numerous things, is that you kind of push the female agenda. You're an advocate for women, and which has earned you a lot of respect. My mom loves you to death. Now, let's ask, thinking about what your king folk have talked about, as the way you see things are changing, being a single mother or being a single parent, is it by choice or circumstantial? And when we've got these boss ladies, independent ladies that claim to be doing stuff and say, well, I don't need a man. How true of a statement is it? And really and truly, should it bother anyone?
Uh, there's nothing much to add to the floor, though. We've got people already. Damola, Funshaw, Dave already said everything, and you've asked brilliant questions as well. I think in the middle, when you was talking, I realized it was a male who wrote that tweet, or
Yes.
the case. So then again, you see the problem of society. I was reading that tweet, and when you read it out, I was just taking everything in, and I saw it came from. Permit me, this is my own opinion. I thought that was from somebody with misogynist views, because it was getting to the point. Now I know that he's a male person. It was getting to a point, but it then deviated and it turned bitter, So, but that's another discussion. I'll touch on that. Choice, circumstantial, which one comes first? I say it's the circumstances that comes first, whether it's your own parents' relationship you're using to mirror whatever you're going for. So it's circumstances before choice. It's never choice before circumstances, because you didn't just fall from sky. You came out of parents. So for me, like Damola said with the labeling, we didn't know much about this labeling until we came to the Western world. My mom brought 8 people. I'll call her first 8 soldiers. That's 6 guys and 2 female, took by herself. That concept of what a single mother was never there until when we started growing up. People would call us bastards on the streets and all of that. Now they would have called my mom boss lady, not just boss lady. Is it wrong for them to call her boss lady? No. I guess I understand what Damola was trying to say. So for me, from my own story, me and my younger brother made a pact and said we will never have children and walk away from them, no matter the circumstances. So you see, we're making a choice based on the circumstances of our own upbringing. So it's a circumstantial before the choice. Nobody just falls from when they were born and say, hey, I'm going to not marry. I have a daughter and 2 boys. My daughter is watching me how I treat the mom, or how the marriage is, what we call marriage now. If she's looking at us every day, she can make an informed choice and say, boy, I ain't marrying, man. See the way Papa is treating Mama. Oh boy, I love this thing called marriage, because Papa is all over Mama. They're doing things where they're protecting us and providing. And she would love that concept of, let me get into this, form that marriage. So it's circumstantial before the choice. But for Toki Makiwa, I don't know anything about this because I don't follow those celebrities. I don't follow any of them. But I know her name. She's popped up. It's the narrative, as Damola said. So we shouldn't hit her with the rod on the head. Maybe it's the way she's putting her story out there. It's not the way she should put it. Don't forget, English is an adopted language. You listen to the way some people use it sometimes, for Christ's sake, they mean this and it's meaning something else. I've even found myself in that problem that I have to re-explain to the person that's not what I meant when they called me on the phone. So the way we interpret what we hear is different. If she's not saying, look, circumstances have led me here, and this is what I am, and I'm telling you, if you're in this position, you can become whatever you want to become. Great. But if she's putting a story out there like, this is the best life there is, I'm loving it, then that is not fair, because you didn't plan out to be that. It was circumstances again that led to that. Like Funshaw was Damola who said, I can't remember, if that relationship still was working, you would remain there. If it was no longer working, you would ball out. I was listening to the show earlier and Celia mentioned something about no marriage is perfect. None of these things are perfect. I would never come out and tell people come into my house and they say, wow, peaceful home. I just look at this idiot and said, for Christ's sake, man, walk away. You never know what's going on indoors. Peaceful home doesn't mean people don't shout there. It could be me just be on my phone 24 hours and my wife her back is towards me. That ain't no peaceful, but in there you see peaceful. So people can see that and make wrong choices. So if Toke Makiwa being an influencer, again, as they use the word these days, is putting out that message as single mom or whatever they call it, it's fantastic. Okay, maybe she's not portraying it well. But if she's saying, this was my circumstances, the man who I had this child with bounced and left the child with me. Maybe he traveled out and I'm not doing this, juggling my businesses with this, juggling my lifestyle with this, and we're doing great. then that's fine. She's only encouraging the men and the women out there that you could do it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not for us to impose our lifestyle on people. Trust me. It's not fair if we start imposing our own lifestyle. Say, oh, this is the way I live my life. You must live your life like that. That's wrong. But again, you need to look at the behind of these stories. These influencers are being paid to say whatever they say. These influencers are being sponsored. Yeah. There was this influencer in London who was sponsoring some cream for Big Bomb. They gave her money to do that when she knew it was all fake. Until she started falling ill, she's big. She was on BBC. I don't know if you've seen it. She had to go to an interview with BBC and Channel 4 to say all of that were lies. So most of these guys on Instagram, they paid them to come out and do all of these things. And people like Damola said, not that they were able to think for themselves before, it's just got worse. They don't longer think at all. So they just fall head, right, center for these people. So that's where the danger is. But I'm not the one here to moralize and preach marriage or preach about single motherhood. I'm a product of what we call single motherhood, but I'm not standing on any platform to promote that. I'm not standing on any platform to promote marriage. Whatever works for you, works for you. So for me, I think it's a circumstantial before the choice. It's not a choice that you make. Like Fusha rightly said, if I had children when I was young, my man, that would have been my passport. I would never marry. I would never have married. It would just be my free ticket to enjoy my life in whatever way I wanted to and take care of my children wherever they are. So again, circumstances would have led to that choice for me. But here we are. I'm in a marriage. I have my own children. So again, it's circumstances and choice.
Okay, thank you, Jude. Thank you so much for that. So now the next thing is what I just want to know from you guys as the men, right? All these ladies, influencers on Instagram going around saying they're boss ladies, that this, anybody that comes out of BB Ninja house now, for example, the next thing they get a deal, the next thing they get a car from God knows where, and then the next thing they're like, I'm a boss lady, I make my money, I'm not sleeping. It's all just very, I don't know how to even explain it. Now, why are these ladies still single, right? You have someone like Toke Makinwa, she's doing well for herself. I don't know, because it's what we see on Instagram that we see. She's still single. Linda Ikeji, she's now a single mom. Why are men not attracted to women like that? Okay, we know Linda Ikeji is a millionaire, I guess, right? Am I right? Yeah, she is, isn't she? A millionaire, Linda Ikeji. So why are men... Sorry, Yuri?
She's comfortable.
Yeah, okay, well, let's put it that way. So why are men not running to women like that? Assuming all the men on this panel were single. I know Ade, you're single. I know the rest of you are married, but let's assume you guys were single. Would you be sliding into their DMs? These are ladies who say they're boss ladies. They have their shit together. They don't need a man, but we know they need a man. So would you be sliding into their DMs? And if not, why not?
Okay. Let me come into that. I've seen a lot of them online. They're just there. I have my own perception of them, you know. I don't really see them as a woman of substance, majority of them. And the ones that are saying they're making something, that you can actually see something visually, tangible in a way. You wonder, how did she make that? There's no money they could have paid her for the little time she spent online showcasing or broadcasting or marketing products. They have married man, rich man married somewhere, who is their backbone. They will not come out and tell you that, right? The same way I watched a clip of one Nigerian Yoruba actor, he's an older man, Olofijano or something like that, that says there is no woman in the industry that has never slept with people within the industry to make it, right? Is the truth? He's in there, he's whole timer, he knows it. And majority of the few that I know who are into movie, the ladies, they were saying to me, oh, he's talking about his daughter. And I said, none of you will come out and tell us that you slept with the producer, because no woman will come out and say, I slept my way.
But that ain't the fault of the woman, though.
Yes, sir.
That's not on the woman. It's not on the woman.
I'm not saying it's a fault, but it's a reality thing. But that's not my own thing. The reason why people like that, I have no interest in people who are there to say they achieve something by online and showcasing their stuff. I don't really see much great value in them, in what they've done. Do you know what I mean? Right? I might be wrong, but that's my own perception of them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You know, so that's
it's not like, entirely true.
Someone like me, I have interest in them. I know few of those that come through Big Brother that I've met before they went through Big Brother. Do you understand? I know, I'll say someone like Bisola, right?
Yeah.
I met her before. I didn't even know she was doing some clip on a movie before I met her at the airport. I was coming back to London and she was coming to London for the first time. So, and I also was like, this girl is fit to, she asked me for a pen. So I gave her my pen. In the Nigerian immigration, when they say, bring your passport, and then they can see that she hasn't traveled before. So they try to hold her back. So I stood my ground and said, I waited. They said, oh, you can go. I said, no, we're going together, right? And then the guy said, oh, yeah. She goes, yeah. So they gave her back her passport and we start moving. So we get talking, we're seeing number and everything, And I know her before she went in Big Brother. I know she was a single mom then, you know what I mean? I talk about her child.
She is.
She stayed with her sister in Southwest London, which I know the area, but she stayed there. She went back to Nigeria with two. Then all of a sudden, a few months or something like that, I saw her on TV. Like, Big Brother was like, wow. Even though she showed me clips of her movie she's done, because I said to her, I only know people like Genevieve or Motola, Jolade, whatever, but not people like you, but you're upcoming, So I know a bit of her background. Do you know what I mean? So I give her respect. And you see, you look at her, you can tell from her own demeanor and things she does. She's not one of those ones that come online and blah, blah, blah herself.
Is this not the same Bisola that got her fame on Big Brother by giving a blowjob? Sorry, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Oh, okay. So Ade, so wait, Ade, would you message her now and want to have a relationship with her after she's come out of the Big Brother house?
So once you're in that kind of line, you're not my cup of tea. Anything,
Right.
if you know my Instagram is private, even though I post crazy stuff, people that sees me knows my profession. People that knows me, so that's not Ade. Ade just doing his own mad thing. Do you know what I mean?
So my question to you, Ade, is: would you go? I guess you still have her number. Would you message her and want to have a relationship with her?
No, not like that. Not for that. No, you've gone public. You're public property. You have to showcase your people are into your affairs. You can't marry someone like that. It will be pressure on me to marry someone like that. The pressure will be there because she has to always be up to that level. She has to be up there all the time. If you're struggling as a family financially, it'll be hard because you have to go out there and find something.
But knowing what she's done on Big Brother, would you still be interested in marrying her as a wife?
I know man will take a woman that go and do public blowjob now.
Celia, we can do closing prayer. Just close.
Okay, I just wanted to know. Right, let me come to you, Demola. I mean, imagine, I know you're married, but let's assume you weren't married. Would you be sliding into the DMs of this lady that call themselves boss lady? They don't need a man, but we know that they really need a man, right? Okay. So would you be sliding into their DMs, or do you think they're just kind of damaged goods and you don't want to go there?
Okay, so thank you so much. I'm not one to judge anybody. Again, I have a way of I've lived my life following certain rules, for lack of a better word, certain rules. There's a way I've lived my life always. There's certain things I look out in friendships and relationships and all those things. What do I think about these people? How they make their money is totally out of scope for me. Linda has a blog that is actually doing very well. So I mean, there are discussions and banter around whether she how she made the money and stuff. Again, I don't see how it's a problem actually. And that's because I like to mind my business. However, the kind of people I've dated over time, or the kind of person I'm married to, they're people that I'm able to first of all find out how they are personally in their personal life. If you don't tick certain boxes for me, right, by my own standard, which is not the generally acceptable standard, I will not come after you. I like a very quiet life. I like to stay away from the public domain in a lot of ways. I love my space. So why would I want to chase after someone that is actually constantly online in the news, on the blog, all the time? Why would I want to do that? Why do I want to bring up my person? And then again, it's not like I'm not online, because again, the kind of job I do makes me go on this platform to again understand conversations and all these things, and I see what happens. So I see a lady that, you drink a cup of tea and is on Instagram, you kiss and tell. I mean, you know what is going on right now, and then the BB Niger reunion, and there's so many. I've seen a couple of clips, and I'm thinking, so something happened in a private space, and you find it very comfortable. Like, you're so good with coming out and then throwing everything out in the open. what is the assurance that the day you and I will do something and that we actually deem private, you won't put it online, then, you know, literally start to air my ass out in public? By virtue of what I consider are personal virtues or like my personal values, they don't tick those boxes for me, so I will not go after them. However, I will tell you for a fact, a lot of men do slide into their DM.
Thank you very much, Demola, for that. Funsho, let me come to you quickly and then we'll move on to Jude. So why aren't you going into the DMs? Why are these are and I know, Funsho, you've said before that you like successful women. So these are women that are successful. Linda Cage is very successful. Well, Toke Makinwa, according to Instagram, is also very successful. So why wouldn't you slide into their DMs? I mean, Bisola, as Ade has mentioned, now she's doing things, you know, giving everything on social media. So why wouldn't you go into her DM and try to, you know?
So this is why I differ from the other guys that have spoken before me. But before I say anything, I want to say, so I wanted to just respond a bit to what Ade said. Not all of them actually go through all these other means to make money. And so long as we don't have them like hard evidence to show that they actually do these things, I think it would be wrong to generalize. Like Dave Damola said, Linda Kiji is actually doing fine. I don't know whether she sleeps around to get the money, but looking at what she's doing, the blog, the sponsorship and everything, sponsorship money can be big at times. There were times I saw MTN on her profile. They can be really, really big.
Yeah.
If you get one, it can make you get. So there are ways, not all ladies that call themselves big boss ladies do sleep around. Some of them actually work hard and they get these deals. If you get multiple of them, then you are made. You get. So I wanted to put that one out there. Now,
Funsho, sorry. Okay, let's although we've had stories that would say otherwise about Linda Ikeji, right? But I don't really want to go into it. But let's just assume she's one of the successful ones. Can you name one other celebrity on Instagram that we see that you think is pure? I want to know. It would be nice to know.
I won't be able to answer that question because you know that I got into Instagram like literally maybe November last year. So I really don't know anything. I'm still just finding my way around Instagram. But I know Toke Makinwa, like I said, because one of my missions in the past when I was in active service, one of my missions actually mentioned her, and she, because of Toke Makinwa, she always checks my phone, checks my Facebook. I was like, this will not lead you anywhere. That's how I got to know Toke. So apart from that, I don't really know much of these people. I don't follow the social media gig thing. Now, talking about successful boss ladies, well, personally, I'm attracted to those kind of ladies.
We know.
Yeah, even with the fame, it makes it better. But we'll have to ask ourselves one question: do I want to marry? That's where it comes to. So I might not want to marry, but if for a relationship, they are boss ladies, they don't need a guy. Yeah, I'm not a boss man. I don't need a woman also. But we can align in some areas where we need ourselves. Yeah, why not? I'm interested. In fact, if you give me contacts, I wasn't married. Give me contacts, I'm definitely going to slide it. You get. And if our alignments, if our things can align, why not? She can even put my name out there, put the pictures, put everything. I don't care. The issue is I will comment when it's out there. I will comment. No matter how they ask me, I'm that kind of person. I will say anything. If I'm going to talk, I'm going to say what people want to hear, but not what I have in my mind. You get. So I'm open to those kind of ladies. I don't have a problem with them at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Funsho, for that. Jude, let me come to you before we move on to the next question. So would you praise women that can do for themselves, you like to give them accolades. Are these women that, if you weren't married, would you slide into their DM? And if you did slide into their DM, would it be because you actually would like to settle down and get married to them? Or is this just a smash and pass?
Oh, like I said before, in places I've had discussions. I don't know whether anyone just said out the first day they meet somebody and say, I want to marry. That's a lie from the pit of hell. I've always said we're hunters, both men and women. So if I was seeing a woman on Instagram, I like what she was doing, I'm looking to get her laid. I'll definitely be sliding. If we then end up marrying, it's then bonus for the both of us. Yes, you've already answered the question before I could even open my mouth to answer it. If I wasn't married and I like these ones, I'll be sliding in 100%. But now, why won't I slide in? She's human. Who accuses MC Olomo being a tout? Who accuses Tinubu being a thief? Who accuses the Nigerian men being cultists and making money? Who accuses Osibajo, all of these people, even people on this panel, who accuses their people, their family members of being criminals, how they make their money? Whose hand is pure? When Mary Magdalene was being stoned, the men, all of them who slept with her was throwing stones until he came to Christ and said, you will never sleep with her, throw stone. All of them walk. So why do we always are comfortable to talk about how the women slide into men's penis and make money? What of the men slide into women's vagina?
But the men are not making money when they do that. The women are still the ones making the money.
They make a lot of money. The difference is we don't come out to put it out there apart from Bobrisky, who's showing the way forward.
No, Jude, what I'm saying is when the men sleep with the woman, they're the ones paying for a service that the woman is delivering. So the women, some of them.
No. We know a lot of Lagos women, a lot of Abuja women who are taking care of men and have made men millionaires, man. And I'm sat here and I desired it at the time. I was.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
man. I was actively looking for designers as Alice Madueke and the former Minister for Aviation. They were not just beautiful ladies. I like the Minister for Aviation eyes. I like the way she dressed, and she has money. I was actively looking to get her. But what I'm trying to say is this: we should start putting the hammer on this Linda. I don't know these people. Thank goodness I don't follow any of them. But we hear their story from Cheetah. Just yesterday, a friend was talking to me about Copy, Otedola's daughter. And I said to it, because she said recently she's single. And I said to her, I said, this is the reason why me and you cannot date that girl. Oh, because we're poor. I said, far from it. This girl lives in Chelsea area, for example. I asked my friend, where do you ball every weekend? You ball in Barking and you think you're balling? You ball in Woolwich, you think you're balling? Go ball in
Chelsea. There's a house in Barking. There's a in Barking.
Let me tell you the reason why I use that analogy. Now, if I was balling in Chelsea every weekend, there is chance that out of 7 weekends, I will go into one place where Copy comes in. By the time I make myself there available like every weekend, one day she'll be comfortable to say, I see you around all the time. What's in the level? Let's have a drink. This is how you slide into real life and DMs. But if I slide into leaders DM right now, there's no chance me and I will meet. I'm blood clot in Abbeywood. She's in wherever. If she flew into this country, she'll be living in maybe Bond Street or wherever because she's got money. There's no chance we will meet. But if I knew people who know her, I might be saying, okay, introduce me to Linda. I'll get something to offer. But fortunately for me, I'm married. I can't do that because she would want to put me out there. This is my new boo. This boo is not ready to be put out there. Make my wife come and beat me for us. You see what I mean? So I have no problem sliding into anyone's DM.
So Jude, when you slide in, it's not to marry, it's just to have fun and move on.
I can't know whether I'm going to marry the first day, for Christ's sake. Now I didn't know I wouldn't know that. I will slide in, we'll have the fun. If she likes me and I like her and she thinks we could go on to marry, we'll do it.
Right, okay.
If not, it'll just be for that period. Nothing spoiled for me to be
even Jude, even though you've heard all these stories, like this Bisola now, for example,
right? Don't worry about that.
All right.
Cardi B was putting bottles in her JJ. Yes, she's still somebody's darling. So Bisola was nothing. Kim Kardashian even leaked her own video. Today, people, all of us here respect her. She's got money. Kanye married her.
So now we can see the difference with the men in this panel.
That's nothing
How
at all.
some will dare not go near, others don't mind.
I will go.
You know me, like I said, I have my own parameters. I mean, so personal judgment. And Jude, you're actually very right.
Yeah.
Again, with mention every other person. I mean, we don't get to judge these people. How they make their money is not my business at all. However,
exactly
alignment. We align in certain areas. If we don't, there is no way. There's not a chance. Even if they throw me the true pass, let's say I'm available like that. They give me true pass. Like okay, when I look at the whole thing, I look at the circumstances surrounding that person. I'm like, man, do I really want to be in this kind of space? The answer for me is no, and for that reason, I will not. So therefore, I like to keep mind to myself, basically.
I think Ade said something very important. Ade said something about the pressure. That's the only thing that would make me not even want to go there. Whether I'll be comfortable with that life, because they are out there 24/7, and that's so spot on when Ade mentioned it. Because not all of us want that. I want to hide, but you're there 24/7. You want to drag me to every party, and that will quickly break up the relationship. So Ade was so spot on when he said that, and that's the only thing for me that will make me say, you know what, I don't want to be with Cardi B for now or Rihanna. That's the only thing stopping me from being with them, you see.
So Jude, let me just ask. Sorry. Let me just ask you one question. So Jude, you're a very liberal person, and what you're saying is, assuming you weren't married, and if you met a girl, and you know that this girl is a public prostitute, for example, or you know that she sleeps with rich men and things like that. So what you're saying is, you're not gonna care about her past. You're gonna marry her regardless if you like her enough.
Yes, Celia,
Okay.
the wife that I'm married now. Oh my gosh, I asked her when I went to our country. I said, this one will come say hello, that will say hello. Let me just put it out there. She know there was this guy. This guy was more than 7 foot tall. I don't know if I've said it before.
Yeah, I think you said something.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
have.
Yeah, and this was her ex-boyfriend. And you know what they talk about height and penis size. I was like, what? Oh, my dear, that's why I didn't ask my wife. Start telling me all the boyfriends you had before. Because when you open the door and go there, one day our friend came, after we've had a couple of wine, and the friend said, this is your wife, you don't want to know her from before. She'll be fine. I says, just stop that story there. Let her end for So you see where I'm going with it.
Jude, you're for lack of a better word, yeah. It's almost like if you weren't married, it's almost like you are looking for sugar mommy or something like that.
Yeah.
See, I won't lie to you. I won't lie to you. You see, again, it's these are circumstantial. Very, very pivotal to this discussion you're having. Growing up with my mother, I won't lie to you. I really admired older women. Maybe because my mother's friends always came around her and they partied a lot, they went out, all those big meetings and all. I liked older women. I know they joke. Fact, I admired them and I wanted to be, be somebody boo where they would take care of in my early years, you know what I mean? So I won't lie. That's no lie.
Right.
Brilliant. Jude wants to be a boo, but let me ask, and this is giving the women a kind of a whole pass to the four of you. There are literally not enough men out there. Point blank.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that earlier. You took it.
There's literally not enough men out there. So
exactly.
Would you not feel that you need to give these women a pass to say what makes them feel happy, given that there's not enough of you around? One, two, there's not enough of men that are readily available to get married. And at the same time, when men get to a certain age, maybe 40 and above, you guys also find it difficult to settle down. So, Funshaw, why can't you just let women say what they want to say that makes them feel good about themselves?
Firstly, there's this saying that keeps going around that the men folk are more than the women folk are more than the men folk. I don't think it's completely correct. I think if you check the world population, I think the men folk are actually more than the ladies. So there's a man to go around for every lady. So all that statement, yeah, there's a man to go around. It is when we now start factoring in maybe the LGBTQ. Yeah, maybe that's when the imbalance.
I see.
But in terms of world population, we have more men than ladies. You get
okay.
Now,
go on, Funshaw.
Now, having said that, I think this thing can go round. You get. Let me just.
What thing can go round?
The men.
The men can go round, and there are some of us that can even do overtime in case it doesn't go
Oh my God.
Some women can do overtime too.
I don't think for me,
they're not ready for that. Men
are not ready. No, they're not ready.
Yuri, to answer your question, I don't think men are the issue of whether women come out as boss lady. I think women are actually their own enemies. I don't want to say worst enemies. I don't know about, I'm saying most men I've met, I've never been in any man gathering where they start talking about, no man leader in KG should be ho, no man this one should be ho. We don't do that. We actually want to be with them. I've heard women say worse things about their own fellow women. When somebody called out Omotola and Jalade, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
That's one of those are what Regina Asking and those crew were the ones I really looked up to then. Some lady. Okay, not put things in your head.
I just tire. Calm down. Be calm down. You're married now.
You carry I don't know be mad.
I don't know be Clara Chukura.
Liz Benson.
Liz Benson.
Victoria Yama.
A lot of them.
You see, when somebody called out Omotola saying you're there claiming you are this successful woman in a successful marriage, blah blah blah. We know who you they sleep with. It was a woman who called her out. It wasn't a guy. The guys actually don't talk about these things. We don't
don't
really
have
mind. We
don't
don't
have
have
that
that time to be
kind of
saying, I ain't know my Linda, how much did they make? Maybe allergy Suleiman give her. We don't talk that one. It's the same women. A woman friend of mine, a female friend, she said to me, when you do things with men, you don't hear them outside. But I'm worried of going out with my friends, my female friends to do anything. The whole world go, yeah, even my oga. And this is fact. So the problem is not from us men. We really don't, we're not afraid of boss ladies. Oh.
We don't care.
The only thing we might not like later is maybe they start treating us like trash. We really don't fear no boss lady. It's for your pocket. We like it actually. Like I said, I would like to be dragged to Fendi to carry bags too. Now you pay for it.
So Jude, let me ask you something. Would you, does that mean you don't want to know your wife's past relationship or her past?
Oh my God, you don't want to open, you don't want to put that kind of worms.
You don't want to.
No, you don't want to. She's never asked me. I volunteered because, like I said, my past, I don't think I had girlfriends who will fit this palm because I didn't start on time with girls.
Yeah.
So that's why I can remember my relationship and they weren't long, but I don't want to open that can of worms, my dear, please. No.
Because is that because you don't want it to bother you or?
No, it won't bother me. It's like, I'll start feeling jealous. It's like, wow, you've
Wow.
had all this nice.
Too.
Yeah, you don't have all this nice life. Me never even do anything because I don't think I've had 3 girlfriends before I actually married. So you see what I mean? If she can't tell me now, say I've been with 17 men, see, I'm for sure I open. yeah, I'm a late starter.
Oh,
I was on the street.
Dude is a late bloomer.
I was in active service.
So Jude, though, if you're saying that because you don't want to get jealous and all that, but if you were going to slide into someone like Linda Cage's DM or maybe Toke Makinwa and you've heard their stories on the streets and everything, wouldn't that bother you then? Wouldn't that make...
If I was single and I was going to slide into their DMs, it's something definitely I must have thought about and I like it. I'm not bothered about it. You're talking about a wife now in the house that you didn't know from before. Now she's married, she's in my house, and you want her to not start telling me Pastor escapades. No way now, come on.
But what if it was before you got married? Because as you said before, when you slide in, let's assume you are not married and you're sliding into Toke's DM, you're sliding in, you know all her stories from before and everything, but you're still sliding in anyway, and then you guys form a relationship and you want to see maybe you guys can end up together. So are you saying you're not going to be bothered by her past?
No, because I've made that conscious decision to slide in.
You have, right, okay.
I support what you said.
Damola, come in. Ade, 1 second. Let Damola come in, then Ade, you come in.
I kind of agree with what Jude said. So as a guy, the way we think, again, like I said, I can't speak for all the guys, but I mean, for the few like me, right? When we want to do something, it happens we calculate it. We know that, we want this thing. Once we want to do it, we want to do it. See, if I want to go after the kid, for example, let's say that I was really interested in that line, I'll have thought about it like Jude said. Once I'm locked in my head, like I want to do it. See, all those extra conversations around whether she has
extra conversations. I like that.
It becomes very consequential. I just literally go for it. And guess what? When I'm in, if I see something different from the entire external narratives around her, and I see that, you know what, she's actually different from what people say, which is always the case. Because you cannot judge everybody by conversations you see online. People say
exactly.
Pull you down to, again, for cloud chasing and all those things. When you get in it and you see a different side that you actually never saw online, you actually consider like, I will go for this thing. And let me also tell you something, for guys, when you want to get married, if you decide to bother yourself with your wife's spouse or you really want to, damn rock now, your head is right. So as men, we know. I mean, the guys I know, we know our limits. We consider things. We think, fine, this is what I want to do, and we do it, and we move on. We don't have issues. No issues at all.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Damola.
I wanted to give an example of what Damola just said.
Go on, for sure.
When I was in active service.
Wait, this your active service?
It's not military. It's not military.
It's not resigned, though. It's still in active service.
I thought it was NYSC.
It's not.
No, it's not NYSC.
There has to be a show for this previous service,
Yeah, we do a show.
There was this lady that I met. She was a prostitute at a point, but she stopped. You get, and I met her. When I met her, I had stories, a lot of stories. Even when I was in the talking stage with her, a lot of people were saying a lot of things. I was like, but in my own head, I was like, it doesn't bother me. So I went in and we started a relationship. It was a wonderful relationship. You get, and fine. I didn't go into the relationship with the intention of getting married to her, but at the point I started thinking of it.
For work experience.
Work experience.
Internship.
So at the point, because of how good she was in the relationship, and I knew she wasn't pretending, it was
How
just her.
good.
It was the circumstances that made her go into what she went into before. And now she's totally done with it. And she's even looking to better her life. And I liked it. And I got to a point I started saying that, okay, can I marry this lady? You get. So she was already getting into my head as to that aspect. Now, why didn't I settle? It was because of other things I noticed, coupled with Toke Makinwa's way of thinking that's put into her head. You know,
So
she does a better job than FBI, KGB, CIA, all of them put together. And the funny aspect is she doesn't ask me to clarify. She just concludes from whatever she sees, from the evidences she's gathered, bam, and just conclude. I'm this kind of person. Like Celia will always say, I'm always on Clubhouse, I'm on Instagram posting big this, big that. I don't want to mention.
Big bum, big breasts, big hands, big eyes.
I'm that kind of person. But it doesn't translate to my own personal life, what I do. But that's what I like doing. And I don't want someone that will now choke me because she's insecure or because she thinks that I'm thinking about her past and like that. And
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Go on, Fincher. It
doesn't mean that we guys, when we see these things, that we factor it into consideration. But once we made up our mind that this is where we're going, that's where we're going.
Okay. Thank you, Fincher. Ade, I know you want to say something, so let me come to you and I'll have what I need to say, and then Yori, you can round up.
Okay. I was going to touch on what Jude was saying earlier. That is sliding into marriage. You don't slide into them with the intention of marriage. You slide in with the purpose of what you're looking to get from that to find.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
Like what Amola now said, that after you get in, you get to know the person, your narratives change. You decide that, oh, this person is actually different from what the public is saying, the public opinion is. You know, that's what happens in every relationship you go into. You meet someone, you find attractive. Every man is not married that takes you to someone. You feel, oh, she's a wifey material, something that attracts me. I mean, and you go into that. So that's what I was going to have. And quickly, I take a hint from what you post, you know, the big thing, the real opa. What's your Instagram? Please, you DM me so I can.
No sharing of Instagram on this.
No. Celia,
I'm not corrupting you.
You see, let me tell you people, I've been very afraid of having Funsho and Ade on the same panel. This was when Funsho just joined Trash It, right? But do you know what? Funsho and Ade, I think you both scale are side by side right now. So people can spoil yourselves. I really don't care anymore.
I disagree.
Ade, I'll send you his handle on Instagram. But just before you round up, I just want to say, you know, Jude is very nice because, I mean, you're a very nice guy. Do you understand? Because you say, oh, I don't really care. When she was a prostitute before, I'll still marry her. You know all these women that go to Italy and Germany and all these other places for prostitution, right? Most of these women still want to get married, right? And what they do is sometimes they either get married to white men or they bring men from Nigeria that they then settle down with and get married to. Now, when they bring these men know the line of job that they're in. They know that the woman they're about to get married to are prostitutes. But just because they want to come to Europe and whatnot, they don't mind. They get married to these women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, it starts to dawn on them that their wife is a prostitute. And sometimes the woman still continues in that line of job even after she gets married. And then the men will now start saying, actually, you know what? I don't think this marriage is going to work. Jude, what would you say about men like that?
You raised interesting facets of that whole lifestyle. The problem is with the man as well. You've said the man's intention was to come join the lady abroad. So that intention has been achieved. So that they would then make a lazy excuse and find a lame way out. But there are some of these women too who actually found men right at the place where they were doing whatever they were doing. So those
mostly white men who do not mind their lifestyle.
No, it's not entirely correct. They're married to a lot of indigents as well. Our people, yeah. And the reason for that is what Damola, Funsho, and Ade has been stressing. You've been in there. Everybody tell you, don't go there. That woman stays at the junction. Maybe if you walk around in the evening, you'll see her at the junction. But now you've been in there and you've seen a different attitude. Like, wow, this is somebody I really want my child with. She's so caring. She's this, she's that, she's kind. Circumstantial, again, drove her to this. Maybe when we get in there together, we can pull ourselves out. Now, you have the ones, they will walk their way out and say, you know what, let's leave this. And they will actually say, let's leave this city we are in, go start a new life. That's a man who's standing by the woman, and that's how it's supposed to be. Then you have the men who will come, knowing fully well what's going on. They use the woman's money to buy red Gucci belt, red Gucci shoe, red Gucci slip, red Gucci everything, red Gucci slide bag like they're selling drugs. Then after this woman stop buying this Gucci and now say we need to be shopping at Primark, and they'll say no. Now you be this, you be that, you be that. I know these people because I stayed in Italy for 6 months. So I'm talking from experience. Although I never dated anybody there because I was so shy, I just came into the country. But I knew guys, and I still talk to a lot of them, and some of them are still married. Some lived that life of wearing red Gucci boots and shoes and left, while some built with the women. So again, it's not the woman's fault. It's circumstantial. We all know what led this woman to go Italy or Germany or Holland. It wasn't their own make. It was their parents who pushed them into going there to come rescue the family. So it's circumstantial again. It wasn't a choice for them.
Most of the women that I know, and I know a lot of them, right, that have lived this lifestyle, they never, their marriages to their African men never lasted, right?
Whose fault was it if you dig deep down?
Well, because the man suddenly realized that actually 2 years down the line, I'm married to a prostitute. I'm married to a man everybody else has slept with. So I don't want that. So what those women end up doing, they end up marrying white men.
Yeah, because they won't judge them. They won't judge them. Not that they don't mind. They won't judge their past. That's where we men, especially the typical African man, no offense to my brothers here, you guys don't think that way from what I've heard from you. The typical one who calls himself, I'm a traditional man. That's the way they think. They need to get out of that mindset. They need to come up, none of us are perfect. Yes, sir.
I disagree. If I'm going to choose a wife, right? I choose a wife I want her to be my pride, the crown jewel, my crown. Do you understand? So I'm not going to choose a woman. I don't want to know her history. You understand? But if I know her history, that she's a public, whatever you want to call it, she's here, and I am not. Do you understand? I don't blame.
Ade, you are fine. Ade, you're saying before you get in. We're saying these men already know they got in. They've got what they want, build a 4 flat, and now they're coming out because they just realize now that, oh, this is what I've been doing. That's what we're trying to say. So they know. They already know before they got in.
Don't they're wrong. If they are aware of it and they decide to walk away, they're wrong.
Exactly.
Aware of what these women are up to in Italy before they move to France, before they move to UK and decide to settle. If women can be there, I don't think any woman can be openly and say to a man, oh, I love you, I want to marry you, but I was a prostitute.
I've seen women do it. They openly say it.
If a woman says that,
when they see that the relationship is getting serious, they think that you have to know before you move to the next level. In fact, some of them will tell you they are no longer interested in marriage.
How do you describe a prostitute? Is it the one that gets paid or the one that just gives it for free? Because we have girls who slept with 200 men. They don't get paid. So how do you differentiate them? Because this one gets paid?
Okay. All right. I think if we continue, we wouldn't finish there because obviously you guys have a lot.
Damola wanted to say
Damola, go on. And then I would round up.
So again, just away from, not totally away from what we've said so far, but again, I like to put certain things in perspective. A marriage is like a handshake. It takes two to actually hold a hand, have a handshake. And I have seen consistently this narrative around always throwing a huge chunk of the blame for failures in marriage to the man. And this happens a lot.
To the man.
That
took me by surprise.
Wait. Let me just go by this thing. Let me try to explain.
Explain.
So when certain things happen online, and I'm talking about conversations online. When certain marriages break down online, follow the conversation. 90% of the time, you are literally everybody's going for the man. Oh, the man is an idiot. He caused this thing. He messed it up. He must have done this thing. It happens a lot. I do not want to mention a specific case of there's something going on currently. And yes, like Jude said initially, women like to kill each other. Like, they literally break down each other. But when it comes to that general outlook about when things actually go bad, everybody comes, a lot of people go after the men too. He's a useless man and stuff like that. What I'm trying to bring out of this is this. I like for people to be actually very objective about situations, problems, and issues. It takes two to break things up, however you want to see it. And I really at the point when people when they see certain situations and they are quick to pick side and say, oh, is that person that did something and stuff like that. Sometimes, like, I'm a Yoruba guy. If I'm going to talk about, let's say I have issue with my partner now and I'm explaining to someone else, of course, I'll make it sound as if she's the devil and I'm the angel. And if she's going to say from my outside, so she probably, speak things, well to her own angle too. My point is this. It takes two to break things up. Let us try and balance this narrative around, people owning responsibilities for when things really get bad or things go bad. That's my own opinion, generally about stuff. It's not about throwing shades about, okay, is the woman that caused the issue, is the man that caused the issue. No. Everybody, we have our own contribution. We contribute equally to the damage. That's actually what happens. Nobody wakes up to say, you know what, I want to just end and destroy everything. No, it doesn't happen that way.
You're spot on that.
Damola, you're very right. Yeah, Damola, you're correct. Okay. But so unfortunately,
they blame them.
Sorry, I think how I started it is where the issue. And I get that.
Where did you get that statistics from?
Yeah, you're very right, Damola. You're right, 100%. But unfortunately, the society would automatically say the woman could not keep her man. The woman did not give him sex enough. The woman did not cook enough. The woman did not clean the house enough. Like some people that want to have sex 7 days a week, and the woman cannot do it, they will say it's the woman's fault.
That's another topic.
Okay, this is random.
In closing, just yes or no. I'm just going to go around the room, and that's for the men. Is a woman that is full of herself a turn off to you guys? Funsha, yes or no?
Full of
Be
herself.
thinking. Like I can do and undo. I can cause rain to come down. I can cause thunder to fire. Things like that.
So I like women that can do things themselves. Fact.
Okay.
But I don't like it when you think you are an island. Let me put it that way. That there is nothing I can say. You have a ready-made answer response to it.
Okay.
It doesn't make it healthy. No matter how much you know, even if I'm blabbing rubbish, sometimes there are times I talk even with men folk and I think that person is saying rubbish. I just keep short, just absorb it. You get, but if it gets to a point where you always want to be the right person, you always want to be the leader.
They say yeah or nay.
I just tire. If na exam now, you don't fail and be that. I beg.
You know what? I would just
answer now.
I think I would.
It's not
I would
Clubhouse, so
I would leave it because I think we've kind of gone over our time. But it's been a pleasure trashing it with you guys, Funsha, Damola, Jude, and Ade.
Thank you, guys.
And I enjoy having you. Until next week, we look forward to having you on the panel as well. And for everyone viewing, we are on Pop Central on Sunday, channel 189 on DSTV. And for those in the Europe, if you haven't got access to DSTV, the channel has got an app called Popping by Pop Central. Until next week, thanks for joining us. Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.